Hi, I am Caleb Hewitt. That's my dog, JPEG, watching nervous because she doesn't know what I'm doing. We just got our wet proofs, which means like as close to final as we can be proofs for Triangle Agency. I'm the lead designer, and I thought I would do like kind of an unboxing of these, mostly because I also haven't seen them. And I feel like it'll be exciting to have, fun to have recorded. Just a note about these, they are proofs, which means there will be errors on them likely. They'll be a little bit different from what we deliver in the end. And the reason for that is because these are for us to find those errors and then fix and things that aren't quite working. So you might see some stuff that isn't exactly ideal, and that's likely because we're also gonna try to fix it. I'll try to talk about what's going on as they appear as well. Ooh. They are extremely taped up. I used to work as a bookseller. A lot of my life was cutting open boxes like this, and it's always very scary because you don't want to hit the books. But there's no way to open it except with cutting. I do hope you can hear me. Paper tossed to the ground. Ooh, okay. So we'll start with some of the smaller stuff then. These are just if you ordered the Playwall, like a set of the Playwall dice separately, the like secret dice that we hold classified dice on the campaign, they'll come in a little tiny box like this that has a lock on it, has a little description and a barcode. Everything has to have a barcode on it, even if we're not selling it in retail, in part because when they're fulfilling, it's much easier for them to keep track of stock by like scanning. And then moving on. But yeah, it's a cute little black and white box, has a sticker on the top side. We're talking about whether we also need one on the bottom. And the one thing about these is that I think the Triangle Agency logo is kind of upside down what you would want in both cases. But yeah, it's still really cute. And they left a sticker for me, the manufacturers, that said, are the direction of the texts on these two sides correct? Probably not. Misunderstood how it would fold. And then for anybody who bought the, who gets the dice separately with the core set, or who ordered a set of the dice separately, you'll get them in a little hanging package like this, where the dice are inside. The dice are inside of a like dark background that shows off both the gray and the red. I think this is really cute. It came out really good on the back too. I was nervous it would be too small, but it looks good. And the reason we did these differently is because the Playwall dice are not currently planned to be sold like in retail, but these might be. So we wanted to make sure they could be hung up in stores and stuff. And when you're getting them from manufacturers, it's way easier to get one package that goes for everything. So that's why these dice are like this, even if you're getting them with the core set. They gave me a couple sets of these, no note written on them, and honestly, looking at them, I think they're really cute. Again, let me bring it up close for you. Whoop, it says agency approved dice in there. And then has the back, which is probably backwards for you, sorry. And then in here is a whole complete set, the normal briefcase collection, as we're calling it now. Let's see. It feels like actually there's two of them. Yeah. So here's the first one. These are big. They are like 7.5 pounds, I think. Really big. Get through this noise. The cats and the dog are gonna love this little wrap. Ugh, I hate squeaky sounds. All right. Whoo! Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is even cooler than I expected it to feel, honestly. It is very heavy, which we knew we weren't going to be able to get around when you're putting, 600 pages of book and dice inside of a box that is itself also a kind of a heavy cardboard. But wow, it looks awesome. So I'm going to come up close. The box itself obviously made to look like the briefcase, and the stickers are themselves shiny, along with some other stuff like the text. We put a spot gloss on them to make them look more like stickers, and we also put it on the gold so that the gold would be a little shiny too. I'm trying to catch the trying to catch the light on them. But we have the lock in the front of it. We have the little legs on the back. We have all the stickers on the back here. It in person looks honestly awesome. There's like a paper texture on this you might be able to see that makes it look totally like real paper. All the other stuff being glossy, it really looks like stickers. Ryan, our art director, made these into stickers and added some stickery effects on some of them. And then Michael was really careful with where the gloss would go. So it really looks like they've been ripped off here, which is so cool. And this effect on the front, the colors look really, really rich. The logo looks amazing. Yeah, I'm so happy with these. I'm gonna open it up now. There's a second one in there. I don't know what the difference is or if there is a difference, so we'll see. Okay, cool, you could see a little bit of that. So when you open it up, the top thing is the triangle agenda, and then on the inside here is a rules reference specifically for rolling. So if you have the box around while you're playing, you can even roll inside of here if you want, kind of like a tray, and use this as a reminder of how the rules work. It's not comprehensive, but it does at least make sure that your walkthrough of the rules is clear. On the right side here, there's a little divider. The divider itself just looks like this, has the leather texture on it, and just make sure that stuff doesn't get thrown around while you're traveling. And then over here is the dice, the different dice in 3 different sections, sort of color-coded a little bit. One of them doesn't look as blue as it's supposed to be, but we'll see. You have the full set of 64 in one, and then you have the Playwalled dice, the dice that you unlock with the agency, which are sort of a see-through red, a pink, and a silver, all kind of mixed together. They all look a little different in a way that I really like because of how it feels like the very clean and clear D4 are feeling a little more muddy and complicated as you learn more about the agency. And then we have the anomaly dice, which are 2 different styles. The blue one's hard to see from there probably, and then this one, which has a little eyeball in it, for reasons that some people probably know already. Anyway, here's the agenda. So the way that these work, that's the back. Gosh, it looks so cool. The way that these work right now is that most of these are going to be blanks. So you can see in here, there's just blank pages, because what we're checking is the cases, the covers, that the construction is all working good. And then the inside here is where all of those character sheets go. The way those worked out, we have base character sheets for 6 people, 6 players, 6 agents. Then we have extras in the back, some notes pages. It's so beautiful. It looks exactly like I wanted. Spiral notebook. Feels really good. Feels gorgeous. Okay. Then, up next, there's a little divider. The reason this paper is in here is because it protects the books below from the spiral, the metal spiral notebook to make sure your book doesn't get scratched while it's in transit. After that, we have the vault, the mission book. I'm gonna come up close again for this one. So this one, what we've done with it that's a little hard to see is we've added texture to the words and to this lock in the middle. So when you're touching it, you can feel that it's bumpy and raised, but it doesn't draw a huge amount of attention to itself in a glossy way, because we really wanted this matte look. The cover's looking really good. Looking at it now, I think the only thing about it is that it looks a little dark. It doesn't as much in the light, but when I'm looking at it in person, it looks a tiny bit dark, but it does come across really cool. And then here's the back. The back, obviously not dark at all, bright red. This part is also raised up so you can sort of feel the edges of it when you're holding it. It's really neat. This is the way that the side looks. Yep, that's all lined up and pretty. Oh, actually, that's not quite lined up. So maybe we can fix that. But it's looking very pretty. And then after the vault, oh gosh, wow. Whew. Here it is. From the photographs that we got from the manufacturer, I was a little nervous. I thought maybe the foil would be too dark or hard to read. I thought maybe the cover image looked a little blurry, but I think that was just their photograph because this looks awesome. We have foil on all the sides. So there it is there. There it is there. You can see all the red stuff is foiled. All of the art here, something that's hard to see in a photograph or even in the video, is that all of this stuff is raised so that when you're running your finger over it, you can feel where it begins and ends. Like I can feel this tiny bumps around the ridge of the phone. I can feel when this big pile starts. Everything that's illustrated is raised up so that, and like this character is raised up so you can feel them, so that everything doesn't like draw a wild amount of attention to itself, but when you're feeling the book and when you're looking at it, it all feels very like present and popped out. Oh, and the foil looks so good. Oh my gosh. It's big though, chunky, 300-page book. Again, these are blank on the inside. I forgot that we were gonna get to see the end papers. Ooh, and they're backwards, oops. This is actually the back end paper, but right now it is in there in the front, so that'll get fixed. But it printed gorgeously, really beautiful. And then, wow, yeah. And then on the back, this one is actually gonna be the front end paper. Boom, wow. So cool. I wish we could see the inside too, because I think this first page is going to be a cool part of it, but that's the interior, so it's not printed yet. Where this connects is kind of neat. You can see that it's like wrapped around, and you can still see the illustration up there, which I like. But other than the end papers being flipped, which we'll need to fix, I'm really happy about that. Gosh, wow. And then finally, I can show you the bottom of the box, which is the portal again. Hooray! Ba-ba-ba-bum. And then we have another box in here. I'm not sure what's in it, so I'm not gonna open it yet. But we do also have this bag over here that has more stuff, and I think it might be other options, so I'm gonna pop that open too. Oh, you know what? This is also going to be actual page samples, so we'll have those too. We didn't print the whole book because, this sounds wild to say, but each set of 8 pages you print is like $250 because they have to build the whole like printing apparatus for it. Like they have to build the plates and press it. And so if you want to check your book, you have to either do the whole thing, spending a ton of money, like way more money than we ever expected, or you have to do one of 2 other things. You can get samples, which is what we did, of just like the pages you're most nervous about, or you can get a plotter's proof, is I think what it's called, which is not like a wet proof. It is a lower resolution, like less intense. It's like closer to what you would get from a home printer, but it lets you see how the colors will print when they are printed rather than digital. And we did both of those. So I think, so we should have both in here. We'll find out. Yes, okay, here's the plotter's proof, which is a ton of bound pages for us to look at. I will not try to flip through all those and bore you. Here is some other stuff showing us, oh yeah, I didn't talk about the end tails and the bookmarks on here. They're also red, pretty red. You can see it there. And then the vault one is, well, in this case, it's red. I think, actually, in the final, we want it to be white, but I'm pretty sure that's what we said, but I'll double check. And then they have different versions here for me to see of other kinds of foil I could use and other kinds of tabs. And then here are, this is labeled wetproof, yes. Wetproofs. This is where we'll see the actual pages at the, like, the color and temperature that they've been printed at. This one I actually do want to open. Maybe I can show you a couple interior pages of the book. Yeah, okay. There we go. Gotta be careful to keep some of this together. But oh, you know what? Actually, more important than that, the vault and papers. Yeah. Voila. The map. There it is. Zooming in close. So cool. That's what it is when you open it. To be honest, these pages are, I'm not even sure how to show them to you. They're all folded up in an interesting way, but here. You can see by looking at it, this is kind of what the pages will look like. This is the size of them. They're all folded up in a silly way because, here you can see if I turn it this way, because this is the way that they're actually printed. I learned this when you print proofs like this, or when you print at all, they're printed on big sheets of paper that take 8 things in a particular order, and they put them all together on one sheet, fold it up, connect it with the other stuff, and then cut it so that it's not all connected like this. But when you're printing a big book, it's in sheets of 8, well, 16, because there's also 8 on the other side. And then when you fold it up and cut it, it works right, which I'll probably do later, but I want to make sure I don't mess it up. So that is what we're looking at today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll probably have better pictures of it later, and I hope you had fun looking at it. Bye.